It's going to be a two-part discussion on what we may expect when it comes to entering Chapter 900 of One Piece, when it comes to Oda's unpredictability, to throw plot twists or to throw a twist or two in this arc already. So there's no way of actually guaranteeing what's going to happen, but we can try to guess, and I can try to guess, because there's certain things that may play itself out that have been left out. For instance, Big Mom chasing Capone. Oda has been spending time on that for a reason. For whatever reason, we have still not gotten to that yet. We may get to that before or during Chapter 900. Same thing with Pudding. We didn't really get to see what our last request to Sanji was. And like I said, it could be a makeout session. It could have been where Pudding used the Men Nami abilities on Sanji after that. Or it could have been completely something else. Like I said during my chapter review, had it been something that puts Pudding in danger, then Sanji would likely be a lot more scared than he was calm. Because when he was waiting for Luffy, like I stated, he was pretty much calm. He wasn't scared about what Pudding said to him. But then again, he could have had his memories altered, like what happened with Reiju. So that's another possibility too. It could have been a makeout session, which may explain why he isn't gushing out with blood or having a nosebleed, because you know for a fact that he would. I mean, just look at Fisherman Island when it came to the mermaids. In fact, he almost died from it because he lost so much blood through nosebleeds. I mean, it's going to happen sooner or later, but the Vince Smokes actually joined up with Sanji against Oven and the other Charlotte family members. In this case, I'm hoping this leads to a 1v1 Sanji versus Oven. I know a lot of people seem to think that he's going to fight up against Daifuku, but right now he's in the ocean near where Smoothie is, so that makes no sense at this point. So I don't know if Sanji's going to get that win before Chapter 900 or during Chapter 900. Let me know what you guys think down below. It's been long overdue. I mean, it's been hell for Sanji ever since he entered Whole Cake Island, even before then. So it's overdue, if you ask me, for not only a win, and I think Oven would be the right opponent, number one, because they both deal with fire. Obviously, we know Sanji, but we have not seen Sanji go all out in this arc. Despite the shortcomings, we have still not seen Sanji go all out. So, I mean, even against Judge, even when that kind of ended abruptly because Judge used his own subordinates as walls to take the impact of the Diablo Chamber and the Spear, which I'm still confused about because Sanji still has observation haki, and not only that, it's advanced observation haki because he's able to sense a woman's tears in Punk Hazard in Tashigi from being very far away. So, and we've already seen Sanji dodge an attack from Katakuri at the altar with some weird future sight observation haki. So maybe that's highlighted something for Sanji going forward. We get that 1v1 fight with Sanji, and like I said, it could be over at this point. No reason why it wouldn't. I thought Commander Snack was brought back to face Sanji. That's why I thought he was the only reason for that. But we still have the reveal on the full design on former Commander Snack. We know his bounty is over 600 million, but we still don't know what he looks like. We know he took the L from a rogue. We don't really know much about him, nor his abilities. So I'm curious why Oda brought him back. And we haven't really seen much of Smoothie, if anything at all, despite the fact that she's able to increase her size and she's able to juice opponents, or girls in this case. But we don't really know much else about her abilities. Katakuri is a prime example of what a Yonko commander how he should act, how he should respond. Although, just technically speaking, he has gained a certain level of respect for Luffy. That's going to play a role, I think, by Chapter 900. Right now, he's in the mirror world, but we know for a fact with Brule, Peckham's is down for the count. I mean, God knows what's happening to Peckham's right now. He could go back into the mirror world, pick Katakuri up, bring him out of the mirror world, and then he can play his role, whatever Oda wants him to do before the end of this arc. So that's going to happen by Chapter 900, I would think. Like I said, the only reason that makes sense is because if he counteracts Smoothie, who's acting really cocky, blocking the exit of the Straw Hats, they still have company. We could get that Sanji versus Daifuku fight, but it makes no sense for Sanji to go over there and fight when he's already at the Sunny. So that's why I think he's going to go up against Oven. And it'd be kind of cool to see Sanji and the Vince Smokes interact during this fight. Luffy's down for the count, so no matter what, he'll be coming after Luffy. So Sanji's gonna have to put in the work too. And whatever happens after that, Sanji can use Skywalk. But we know why this fight's happening is to get Sanji that win and a power boost. Hopefully against Oven. We know Oven's abilities. It looks like he has Devil Fruit Awakening by the way he used it. On top of that, he melted the gun that Peckham's held. So I'm curious how Sanji would handle himself in the fight. And I think that Oven is a perfect opponent other than Commander Snacks. So using Diablo Jumbo on somebody who can create fire from like a furnace. So that's going to be interesting. The Vince Smokes, very peculiar. Yes, they are helping Sanji out, but remember, they don't have emotion. Well, Rage has somewhat of emotions, but at the same time, she can't disobey Judge's orders. And the thing is, we don't know where Judge is. And I said this in the review. He wasn't with the Vince Smokes. And if the Vince Smoke, if Oda wanted to foreshadow a sacrifice on the part of Vince Smokes, why isn't Judge there? Because you know for a fact Judge has to be part of it too, because of the way he was acting towards Sanji. And he's not. So either he's going to deal with Big Mom, even though that's pretty much a suicide mission if he turns out to be on the island where the wedding cake is going to be placed at, because we know Capone's just going to toss it there. And like I said, that could take place at chapter 900. It would make sense. Oda has these to have big moments or big chapters when it comes to like the elusive chapter every 100 chapters into this, and since this is chapter 900, this should be no exception. Chapter 800 we had the Straw Hat Grand Fleet formation. Chapter 700 we pretty much had Doflamingo of Ace's Devil Fruit. The arc is going to be concluded, or having said that, we could have said the same thing from Dressrosa, but it technically didn't end until chapter 801. So it could be the same thing here, but this is the second longest arc in One Piece with Whole Cake Island. And overall, what are your initial thoughts of Whole Cake Island? So there's a lot of things that play itself out. Overall, we got introduced, in my opinion, the two best characters, Reiju and Katakuri, obviously. I kind of want to see the Vince Smokes go all out before this arc is concluded, because obviously Ichiji he got the short end of the stick against Katakuri, so it's going to be kind of cool to see the Vince Smokes do the thing in the next chapter, moving forward to the elusive chapter 900, and that's going to be the final farewell, I think, where, well, I don't know if it's going to be final, but it's going to be the farewell, at least for this point in time, for the Vince Smokes and Sanji. They're definitely going to, if there's no sacrifice involved, they're definitely coming back into the story before the end of the series. This arc is going to be concluded one way or another, and after Whole Cake Island, we know we're heading for the Reverie. We know where Luffy and company are going to be heading. They're going to be on their way to Wano, and two things we know for sure. One, the Reverie is taking place by that point in time, with Vivi, Shirahoshi going to be there. Obviously, Rebecca and Viola's going to be there. We're probably going to see the Gorosei. I wouldn't be surprised to see Akainu, and we're going to see Kizaru, and possibly the debut of Green Bull. That's been foreshadowed ever since Dressrosa. So, and the other thing to look out for is the fact that we know for a fact that the Straw Hats are going to meet somebody else. One Piece legend that's going to get in their way to Wano has been already teased to be the strongest villain or the strongest enemy yet. Now, that could mean one or two things. That could mean a Yonko, or this could actually bring in Green Bull. I'm thinking about this a lot, and it makes sense because right now we have not seen Green Bull at all. What better way to introduce him as an obstacle for Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats? That could be the case, or it could be Whitebeard Jr. Weevil, because remember they're looking for Marco, and in order to do that, they need to get to Luffy. So it's hard to imagine that Weevil's actually the strongest opponent they've had to face when you consider they've already come into contact with Big Mom in this arc. So unless we could get another Yonko, but that's way too much for Luffy, especially if it's taking place on the Sunny. I can imagine an admiral approaching Luffy on the sea. That'd be so. Can you imagine how epic that would be if Luffy actually ends up going Gear 4 against this admiral? So all hell could break loose. And what it implies to me, and I said this a while back, but the Wano arc does not have to start with Luffy's group being there. This arc is going to start with what's been going on, because we know for a fact that Team Zoro's already there alongside Law and the Samurai. I still think there's going to be a traitor involved. Who that traitor is, who do you think is? Because obviously the Reverie card. the whole situation on Zoe. So let me know who you still think that trait is going to be. We could expect all hell. We don't know when Wano's taking place. We do know it's happening this year. It could take place at the end of the year, which I am okay with that if it takes place, let's say, in November or October as scheduled last year. We still have time for the Reverie, which I think we could all agree, given the world building and how game when it comes to like the world building of One Piece, the Reverie will be a good place for that. And we know certain things that's going to be brought up. The ancient weapons, aka Shirahoshi, the Poseidon ancient weapon. We know hopefully it doesn't get leaked out, although I have a funny feeling something else is brought up, like Monkey D. Luffy, what to do with him. That's going to be mentioned as well. There's a lot of things that can go down. Like, we could get an invasion of the Revolutionary Army invading. We're heading for the Revolutionary Arc at some point, so that'll be a great catalyst. And finally, let me know who you think is going to be the one to actually get in the way of the Straw Hats when it comes to, like, I guess when it comes to, like, the strongest enemy that Luffy has to face, a One Piece legend. And in my opinion, the way it's been described, I don't think this is Whitebeard Jr. I don't think it's Weevil, because this is being hyped up as a legend. So let me know who you think is that legend is going to be. Who's going to get in the way of Luffy on the way to Wano? And for all we know, Kaido could be wrecking that shit as of right now. But like I said, Wano does not have to begin with Luffy being there. So we know it's going to be hyped up to be even bigger and more epic than Marineford. Marineford was described to be cute in comparison to what we're going to get on Wano. Who do you think, if there's going to be a major character death in Wano, who do you think it's going to be? Personally, I hate to say this, I think it's going to be Law. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, like this video if you did, subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later.